Hi, everybody. Do we have any audio? Yes, we do. I think we do. Okay, great. Thanks. Hello, everybody. This is Marilyn, and it's the noon edition of Welcome to My World for the 19th of February. And this is a Friday. And what do we know about Fridays? If you've had a great week, be super careful so you don't give back on Friday what you worked all week to make. Um, Somebody just made a comment in the chat that how frustrating this was. Yes, Freaky Friday today. And this is typical sometimes of Friday mornings. Once in a while, and it's usually the third Friday of the month in the afternoon, going into the close, maybe the last hour, a lot of things can happen. And today happens to be the third Friday of the month, and that is options expiration day. So the underlying stocks get a lot of option activity today, and sometimes going into the close, uh, those it can get a little volatile. But this morning has certainly, if you've had difficulty trading, believe me, you're not alone. I'll post my CL chart because it's easier for me to put the stuff on it. Let's see, there you go. Pasted it in there. Those are the two trades that I saw this morning on CL. Let me see if this will go over here. Oh, wait, I can just take the chart. Just a second. How about that? And just take the chart over here. And a lot of people wonder how it is that I trade this. It's what we had today were two instances where the MVP arrow showed up just about the same time the E did. And those are very, very strong signals. There was a lot of chop in here, and if I go a lot by the deviation indicator down here, this is what I refer to as bad guy country when it makes all these little funny holes in the mountain. I like nice smooth mountain up and a nice smooth mountain down the other side. When you get those, you've really got some nice trends. The entries on these were the classic Apex E with the confirmation of the trend catcher. We did have this MVP arrow right here, which is a very cool thing when it happens. So if you took that, then the take profit level would probably be this deviation, which it is for me. If you want to stick with it and trail your stop real tight, that's fine. But at the deviation with 40 ticks on crude oil, usually you're a pretty happy camper unless a lot of volume comes in which case it will continue to move. And then there was a second one, the same kind of an entry, but it was a lot slower. The timeline on this was from about 10 o'clock to about 10:30. It took almost a half an hour for this to finally get there. Of course, this one was pretty slow too. So if you use the ATM strategy on your Dome or your chart trader, then I'm usually pretty happy with 30 ticks and out the door. Thank you very much and get over it, especially on Friday. And especially when it gets past 10:30, I'm not too inclined unless there is a compelling reason to take a crude oil trade. That's pretty much time to leave it alone and see what happens next week. this morning we had really, really nice trades. I've talked a little bit about the bonds, and I prefer to trade bonds off of this chart. It seems easier for me to see it for some reason. But this was a great thing over here that started about 8, what's this? Yeah, just about 8 o'clock, a little bit before 8. There was a really nice one, but you needed to be up at 4:30 in the morning or something. Some over here off of this E. This was at 5:45. That's a little early for me, but this one was really nice. And normally I would be happy with 10 ticks in a trend off of this, but it came right through settlement. And so the next stop is likely to be the deviation level down here, and that's exactly where it went. I also like this trend R down here because it's telling you when it got to settlement, it gives you no clue whatsoever to get out of that trade. So if you're protecting your profit, as long as this trend R looks like this, great. I don't wait until the trend R has flipped. Once it's gotten to a deviation level down here, I mean, that this is a really nice trend on bonds right here. And then it turned around with the E, went back up to settlement. So you could have gotten some ticks out of that. And then once it's put in this elevator, I have discovered that elevators on this chart with this particular market work very, very well. There's a magnet here at 66.12, and here's one of Lori's touchbacks right here. But for me, settlement is it's got green apexes, and at settlement, the trend R is telling you down here. I kind of like that thing. So this was another nice run up to the high of the day, the high of yesterday. There's a deviation level here, and there's a magnet level here. So when it gets into these many streets all bunched up here together, then if you've got some ticks in the tick bank, I'd be looking to just deposit those and forget it for the rest of the day. So the other market that had really nice trends this morning was gold. Gold early in the morning is generally a little safer to trade. It's not quite so goofy. It's a little slower. And TF had some nice. In fact, all the indices right that 10 to 10:30 candle, 30-minute candle, and it turned right around there, and all the apex indicators came right on, worked great. So for next week, this morning, the Canadian news, it was really bad retail numbers, and the Canadian dollar showed its displeasure with those numbers and proceeded downhill quite rapidly. But next week, on Monday, we don't have, there's not a lot of news coming next week that's of super importance. Mondays are usually very quiet, and next Monday will be no exception. And then towards the end of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it starts to pick up. But always check in the mornings, especially, so that you're aware of the news that may be coming out that will affect whatever market you're trading. Better be safe than sorry, and that needs to be an absolute habit. So we've got the VIX is coming down a little bit. It's trading 21.04 right now. So when it gets up into this 28 number area, that's when the bears start to take control of the indices. Uh, Brent this morning has we're still in contango with the crude oil, so that's encouraging at least. And Brent is hovering right around a significant level of around $33. So it's been up and down and back and forth across that for the last couple hours. I think that's about all I notice today. For next week, keep in mind that next week is the last week of February. So this is the final week for your February portion of this year's business plan, and you need to check and see if you're on track for where you wanted to be at the end of the month. If you're above it, that's great. Then you want to be very careful about what you take so you don't go backwards in any way for next week. And if you're not, in other words, you should be 3/4 of the way to your goal for the month of February right now. And if you have a little bit to make up, then the way I do it is to get concerned about getting myself to where I should be today, not necessarily today, but Monday or Tuesday, and then tackle where I need to be by the end of February. So the ticks deposited in the tick bank come out to darn close to what your target was. And then not this weekend, but next weekend, then you want to lay out your month of March. What trades are you going to take? What markets are you going to look to make that money and those ticks? And once you get in the habit of doing that, then it's kind of like you have a shopping list in front of you, and you start out every day with your shopping list, and you just go to the marketplace and see if they have what you need for your list, and check off your list. If they don't have it, well, then you're not going to buy any that day, and come back the next day and look for that particular market, that particular product. But don't come in to starting your week or your month with this idea of, oh, gee, I'll just see what turns up. No. You have to know what you're looking for. If you are looking for a certain amount of ticks every day, then write down where are you going to look to get those ticks. You can't trade every single thing on the planet, so zero in to if you've just started, zero in on one market. If once you know how that behaves, then add a second one, and then add a third one. I can't keep track of more than 4, so I only go to 4, and I will get my goal out of those 4 markets, but I know exactly what I'm looking for. And if they don't have it today, I don't get on the bus driver's stupid bus. You have to get on the bus you want to take you to where you want to go. But just walking in and thinking, oh, gee, I'll just look around and I hope something turns up, that will likely, you need to get over that idea as soon as possible, because that's not how you're going to operate a profitable business. We have had, I don't know how many, I wish we had a place to keep score on that, but it's really exciting. We've had 2 or 3 people this month who have stepped up and let us all know that they are no longer going to work every day. They have become full-time traders. And it's because they have mastered this and they've got a plan. They know how to sit down and work that plan. And so they're going to make their living trading. That's really, really, that's a big step to take. You have to you have to practice a lot, get a lot of confidence, but that's a big step to take. So hats off to everybody who's done that. We'll try to. I think they're posting someplace in the forum about that too. So watch the forum and see. I'd like for some of those people to share with us, what their experience has been and how long it's taken them to get to this point, because that's really, really cool. Anyway, I think that's about it for today. I'll see you all next week. I hope you have a safe and wonderful weekend. This has been my view from my world in Apex Land, brought to you by Apex Investing. I'll see you Monday.